Hello students. Today in this video we are going to discuss about the classification of goods. So before we start with the classification, let me tell you what do you mean by goods in economics. When you talk about goods in economics, it includes services as well as. That means both tangible and intangible goods are taken together here in economics, and that is what is used for sale or for earning money out of it. So goods include services as well. So let us see the classification of goods. The first thing is intermediate goods and final goods. Intermediate goods. Intermediate goods are those goods which are used by the producer for further production. That means all those goods which are maybe raw material, maybe semi-finished goods. If it is used by the producer for further production, we call it as intermediate goods. These goods are not ready. They are not complete in itself to be used by the consumer, the ultimate consumer, or to fulfill the needs of the consumer. If any intermediate good, if it is sold or if it is purchased by the consumer, then it will be treated as final goods. So if the goods is with the producer and if it is not ready for the consumers to be used, or if it is not sold to the consumer, then it will be treated as intermediate goods. Even the government purchases of durable goods means the capital goods which are purchased by the government, machinery, construction of building or building materials and all. So all such kind of purchases, if government is making, then that will also be treated as intermediate goods. Why? Because government is using these kind of commodities just to provide services. The motive behind is not to earn money, but just to render the services and to satisfy the needs of the people of the country. So that is why that will also be treated as intermediate goods. The second category of this is final goods. All those goods which a consumer is purchasing to meet his or her satisfaction or to fulfill the needs of his or her, then that will be treated as final goods. And those goods which are final goods, no further value addition will be made in that. That means finally it is complete in itself and it is going to be used by the producer for meeting his needs or meeting his requirements. So these are the two concepts of intermediate and final goods. Next is production boundary. This is the concept which actually demarcates final goods and intermediate goods. It is an imaginary line, or you can say it is a line which is around the producing sector. That means all the producers are encircled or surrounded by this imaginary line. This means that any commodity which is with the producer inside this production boundary will be treated as intermediate goods. Even if it is complete in itself, but it is not sold to the ultimate consumer, it is treated as intermediate. So any commodity which is with the producer, which is inside the production boundary, will be treated as intermediate goods. The moment this intermediate goods are handed over to the consumer, or it is sold to the consumer to fulfill their needs, then it will be treated as final goods. So this is the boundary which demarcates or differentiate intermediate and final goods. That is why this is a very important concept to differentiate the intermediate final goods. Next is consumer goods. What are the consumer goods? Basically, consumer goods are those goods which are demanded by the consumer to fulfill their needs. Or you can say these are the goods which satisfy the human wants, that is the wants of the consumers. These are of four categories. One is durable consumer goods. Those goods which can be used for several years. They are continuously used and again and again. So these kind of goods are known as durable goods. Semi-durable goods are those goods which are having more than 1 year's time. These goods can be used continuously for more than 1 year, but not that too long. The third category is non-durable consumer goods. This is only used once. Like if you use anything, once you are using it, it is going to be over, finished, complete. So that is your non-durable consumer goods. And services, you know that service is rendered the moment it is rendered, it has to be consumed. So that is why it has been categorized separate. So it is the directly satisfying the wants without any delay, or you cannot wait for the consumption. Service is delivered, consumption takes place simultaneously. Durable consumer goods, for example, car, refrigerator, etc. Whereas semi-durable goods, like for example, you're using say crockery, or you're using any such kind of commodity for more than 1 year. And non-durable consumer goods are those goods like your petrol for the car, or this yeah, toothpaste, soap, shampoos, and all. So you are using it, the moment you use it, it is over. So these are the consumer goods. Now next is producer's goods. Producer goods are those goods which are used for further production or meant for resale. I mean, many producers, or you can say in the chain of production, there are people who keep the things, purchase a commodity from the producer, from the firm, keep it with themselves, and then sell it whenever and wherever it is demanded, or wherever there is a need, so that they can earn profit. So in the chain of production, if any commodity is produced or the goods are purchased by the producer for production or for reselling it in the market after a period of time, then that is your producer goods. This producer goods are again divided into capital goods and intermediate goods. Though I have already differentiated intermediate goods in the very beginning, I have explained it. Here I am going to differentiate capital goods as well in detail. Capital goods are those goods which are demanded by the producer to be used over a period of time. This is what you call it as fixed investment, which we have already covered in the concept of investment. So any expenditure incurred by the producer in purchasing machines or fixed assets, then that becomes your fixed investment. And it is very natural that when you are using any such kind of commodity or good for the production, and which is to be used for many years, it is going to show some kind of decrease in the value of that particular asset or that particular commodity, which you call it as depreciation. So very natural depreciation is there with the fixed investment. And please don't forget, the depreciation is a concept of fixed investment only. And any durable goods which are repeatedly used, that is your fixed investment, and that undergoes depreciation. So this is producer goods. Intermediate goods is used once and it is over, or you can say they are the raw materials which is used, consumed in the production process, or they are transformed in the production process, and thus its total identity, its total form is changed. So if such a commodity is there, you call it as intermediate goods. Next is goods for self-consumption. Goods for self-consumption is basically the portion of total produce made by the producer which is retained by the producer for his or her own consumption. That means these are the commodities which are not sold by the producer in the market, rather it is kept with the producer to be used for himself. You call it as own account production, or you call it as self-consumption, production for self-consumption. So we know that if that particular produce is sold in the market, definitely it is going to earn some kind of income. So that is the reason, even if the producer is not selling it in the market, or it is retained by the producer for his own consumption, it has got some value. So that is why we consider it as a part of total produce, to know the exact value of the total production made by that particular producer. So it is a very important concept of national income. So always remember that production for self-consumption is always included in the national income. But before that, you have to remember one more thing, that is production for self-consumption, that is in the form of goods. And if the self-consumption of services are made, then that is not to be included. Why? Because the valuation of services is difficult affair. So that is why services for self-consumption is not taken into consideration. So this is all about your goods and services. I think by now the concept is clear, but don't forget that these are the concepts you're going to use it while calculating national income in the coming chapters. So remember the difference between capital and intermediate goods, very important, producer and consumer goods, very important, and goods for exchange and goods for self-consumption. So these things you need to understand it. I think by now you must have got the concepts differentiated. It is possible for you to differentiate the concept. So in the next video, we'll take up the next important topic. Till then, bye. Thank you.